download our Revise It Right revision app for hundreds of videos, quizzes, exam questions, tutor support and so much more. This video is about density. Now the word density means how much mass or particles there are in a given volume or space. The more particles in a volume, the higher the density. So here I'm going to show you some examples of what I mean by this, and I'm going to show you 3 different diagrams. Now it's important to note that each of these 3 spaces or volumes are the same. So each of these represent the same volume. And we're going to call this A, B and C. So here we're drawing 3 particles, here we're drawing 5 particles, and here we're drawing 7 particles. Now what you should hopefully realise is that A has less particles, i.e. less mass, than B. And therefore we can say that A is less dense, or the least dense. And C has the most particles, therefore the highest mass, and therefore is the most dense. So hopefully that's a nice visual representation of what we mean by this word density. The more particles in a volume, the higher the density. The less particles in a volume, the lower the density. The density of a substance is defined as its mass per unit volume. Objects float if they are less dense than water. This is because they weigh less than the same volume of water. This can therefore be written as the following equation. Density is equal to mass divided by volume, wherein this P means density and is measured in, or the unit is kilogram per meters cubed. M obviously stands for mass, and its unit is always the kilogram, and V stands for volume, and its unit is meters cubed. So density is equal to mass over volume. Let's go through a worked example. So a wooden post has a volume of 0.025 meters cubed and a mass of 20 kilograms. Calculate its density. So first things first, we always like to write our equation. So density equals mass over volume. Then we want to write down what numbers we have. So our mass is 20 kilograms, 20, and that is kilograms, so the unit is correct. And then our volume is equal to 0.025 meters cubed, and that is the correct unit. So we can then put this into our equation. Density is equal to 20 divided by 0.025. Therefore our density is equal to 800 kilograms per meters cubed. Remember to download our Revise It Right revision app, watch over 700 videos, answer 4,000 plus quiz questions, over 1,000 flashcards, 1,000 exam questions, worksheets, forums, and get help from qualified teachers and so much more. The link is in the description. So what I'd now like you to do is to answer these questions to really test your understanding on this equation. So pause the video now. Okay, let's run through the answers. So an object has a mass of 100 grams and a volume of 20 meters cubed. Calculate its density. So you should have got 0.005 kilograms per meters cubed. If you didn't, maybe you didn't convert your units. You had to obviously convert 100 grams into kilograms, which would have given you 0.1 kilogram. So 0.1 kilogram divided by the volume should have got you 0.005. An object has a mass of 3 meters cubed and a density of 6,000 kilograms per meters cubed. Calculate its mass. Well, of course, for this you would have needed to rearrange the equation to get mass on its own, and you should have rearranged it to density times volume is equal to mass, and therefore you would have done your density, which is 6,000, times your volume, which is 3 meters cubed, to get 18,000 kilograms. Question 3. An object has a mass of 20,000 kilograms and a density of 4,000 kilograms per meters cubed. Calculate its volume in meters cubed. Well, again, you would have needed to rearrange this equation to get volume on its own. And you should have rearranged the equation. So it would have been mass divided by density would equal to volume. And therefore mass is 20,000. So 20,000 divided by the density, which is 4,000. And you should have got 5 meters cubed. Question 4. The density of air is 1.3 kilograms per meters cubed. What mass of air is contained in a room measuring 2.5 times 4 times 10? Well, here you of course have to have calculated the volume yourself first, and you can calculate volume by timesing length times width times height. So to do that, you could have got 2.5 times 4 times 10, and that would have given you the volume. And of course you then would have times that by the density to get your mass, because we're using this equation here, density times volume equals mass, and it would have got you 130 kilograms. And finally, the density of water is 1,000 kilograms per meters cubed. A water tank measures 2 by 4 by 5. What mass of water will it contain? Similar equation to last time where we have to work out the volume ourselves. So length times width times height, which is here. Then obviously times that by the density, which is 1,000. Again, using this equation here would give you density 1,000 times the volume, and you should have got 40,000 kilograms. So we have now looked at what we mean by density, a nice definition of density, and then the equation that links density to mass and volume. You can now test yourself using the quiz and any exam questions on the topic. If there's anything you didn't understand, please do get into contact with one of our tutors who will happily help.